He admitted to choking Miss Crawford. And while he was choking Miss Crawford, Jordyn Jones put a plastic bag over her head.
Disturbing new details exposing the brutality last week and the awful story of Alexis Crawford's final moments. This week, both of the Clark Atlanta senior's alleged killers, her roommate and her roommate's boyfriend, were in court. From what we have seen so far, Jordyn Jones and Barron Brantley each trying to shift the blame to the other for what happened to Alexis. Elwin Lopez takes us through the timeline.
Yeah, Jeff, Alexis Crawford had accused Barron Brantley of sexually assaulting her just 4 days before she was killed. His DNA was found in the rape kit, even though Jordyn Jones, his girlfriend and Crawford's roommate, told Crawford's parents that it wasn't. That's just some of the shocking details we're learning today. October 26, it was homecoming weekend when detectives say Alexis Crawford, her roommate Jordyn Jones, and Jones' boyfriend Barron Brantley went out drinking. Lead detective Michael Young testified that Jones said she went to lie down after they got home, and when she woke up, she told investigators she went looking for her boyfriend. She said the bathroom door was locked, and when she knocked on the door, Brantley then came out immediately saying he had not raped Crawford. The roommate told police Crawford was unconscious on the floor, and Brantley took off in her car. Police say Jones called 911 to report that her boyfriend had stolen her car and also told them Crawford had told her that Brantley had sexually assaulted her. According to Atlanta police, Crawford at first refused to talk to the officer, but 15 minutes later, police were called back to the apartment and Crawford filed a sexual assault report. The next day, October 27th, Crawford went to the hospital to get a rape kit. That same day, Brantley told police Jones snuck him back into the apartment she shared with Crawford. He hid in Jones' room until October 30th. Crawford never knew her alleged attacker was just feet away for 4 days. On October 30th, we previously reported Jones took Crawford to the liquor store. Later, she stated that when she woke up, Crawford was gone. But now detectives say Jones eventually admitted that she and Crawford got into a physical fight. And that's when Brantley, still hiding in the apartment, allegedly popped out of the bedroom and choked Crawford. That's when Brantley told detectives his girlfriend took things to a different level.
Jordyn Jones put a plastic bag over her head.
According to what he told police, Brantley then cleaned up the blood, which police didn't discover during their initial check of the apartment. It was only after they returned and examined the living room with luminol that the crime scene was revealed. Jones allegedly told police after realizing Crawford was dead, they put her in a bin and dumped it in a park. A detective testified that after that, Brantley and Jones returned home, slept, and then went to a Halloween party that same day. And it was after detectives saw surveillance video from their apartment showing Brantley and Jones getting into the car around 3 a.m. that Jones, along with her dad, led police to Crawford's body at Exchange Park in Decatur, going to a few other parks before the one where Crawford's body was located. Jeff?
You will find more on Alexis Crawford's life, the suspect's background, and the investigation right now on the 11 Alive app.